Good morning, I'm Brandon Peoples. A fast food restaurant will soon get a new Manhattan location. A spokesperson with Chipotle Mexican Grill has confirmed to K-Man and the Mercury that the company is planning to open a new restaurant in Manhattan later this year, but declined to share further details, including the site of that future store. It's believed the company has chosen a commercial lot west of Walmart and south of Ameritrust Bank, located at 818 Tuttle Creek Boulevard. ARC General Contracting of Lenexa was approved for a building permit on that site back on April 16th. According to its company website, ARC has designed numerous quick-service restaurant buildings in Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, including for brands like Chipotle. A spokesperson with ARC confirmed that the permit is for a shell building for a restaurant, but would not confirm or deny that Chipotle is in fact the client they're working with. Chipotle currently operates a restaurant at 606 North Manhattan Avenue in the Aggieville Business District. The USDA says the number of employees at the National Bio and Agri-Defense Facility decreased by only 6 amongst wide-sweeping cuts to the federal government workforce in the Trump administration. According to an anonymous source, however, between 30 to 40 employees are no longer active. The Mercury on Tuesday received a report from the USDA indicating the number of full-time employment numbers at NBAF had gone from 320 to 314 between February 10th and April 22nd. The report was received after the Mercury made a request for public records under the Freedom of Information Act. A source for the Mercury says that after a judge's ruling, the government came back to those previously fired employees and offered a deferred resignation. People who accept are being paid through September 30th, according to an employee who accepted the deferred resignation program. It is not clear what positions are included in those who accepted the deferred resignation. The Riley County Treasurer's Office and the County Clerk's Office are working to fill some open positions. The County Commission on Thursday approved 2 new hires for the Treasurer's Office and agreed to advertise a vacant election specialist position. County Clerk Rich Vargo says the position is critical in light of the upcoming election, noting that training must occur before onboarding someone ahead of November. The 2 new hires in the Treasurer's Office are in customer service. It includes someone to replace an employee that is planning to retire in September. Kansas has seen a number of storms in the past couple of weeks that have led to a number of severe weather threats, including flooding. K-State meteorologist Chip Redmond says the recent rainfall has also led to some drought improvement in the region.
But we're on the southern edge of a pretty substantial drought area that still remains. Most of northern Kansas along the Nebraska border are still in moderate drought. Manhattan itself has been abnormally dry, which technically is in the drought category. But to the south of Manhattan, substantial improvements. Drought was erased for most of the Flint Hills and south central Kansas.
He says the recent storms earlier this week carried some severe threats.
We did have that severe weather component, too. Kansas City had several tornadoes, or thought to be tornadoes. They're still out there trying to survey and find out. But they were tornadoes. So there was some severe weather with it. But again, Manhattan kind of continues to dodge the bullet with the worst weather this spring.
Redmond says Manhattan was 2 inches below average for rainfall in the month of May. Showers and thunderstorms are possible through the weekend. A local funeral home is now offering professional cremation services. It's located at the Andrus Fifley Funeral Home in Riley. Owner Jared Andrus says his company previously had contracted with a Topeka crematory. Now his funeral home is the first one in Riley County to offer cremation services locally.
There is one in Junction City, but other than that, our next closest would be Topeka or Salina.
Andrus says it was important for the funeral home to be able to tell each family served that their loved one stays with the funeral home through the entire process, rather than the company having to use a third party for cremation services. The crematory in Riley became certified by the state of Kansas on May 9th.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino. A meal isn't just about what's on your plate. It's about what you bring to the table. San Pellegrino believes the table is where the best of life happens. That's what makes gathering around it so rich and rewarding. And with their unique sparkling natural mineral water, San Pellegrino brings its best so you can bring yours.
Good morning, I'm Mitch Fortner with sports. The Kansas City Royals take one game out of the split doubleheader yesterday at the St. Louis Cardinals, falling in Game 1 in 10 innings 6-5, but redemption in Game 2 in the nightcap 7-5. And Kansas City breaks its 3-game series skid by taking the series in St. Louis 2-1. The Royals improved to a record of 33-30 and now will start a 3-game series at the Chicago White Sox, the team that is dead last in the American League Central. First pitch at 6:40. After giving up the lead in a Game 1 loss to Texas on Wednesday, Topeka native Nigeri Kennedy was determined not to surrender Texas Tech's lead again. And with the tying run on third in the final inning, Kennedy did just that. She struck out Caden Henry on 3 pitches to give the Red Raiders a 4-3 victory, sending the Women's College World Series championship to a decisive third game tonight. The first pitch is at 7 p.m. and televised on ESPN. And things were going as expected for the heavily favored Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. They forced the normally efficient Indiana Pacers into 19 turnovers in the first half to lead by 12 at the break. The advantage swelled to 15 early in the fourth quarter, and it looked like the Thunder were off to one of their usual blowout victories. But they fell apart late. And then Tyrese Halliburton hit a mid-range dagger in the final second to give the Pacers a 111-110 victory on Thursday night to lead the series 1-0. Game 2 is going to be on Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm Mitch Fortner with sports.